Downsizing, Diva, and I'm here to stay. Feeling good, taking my GLP, one day to live. One whole year, wiped away my fears. Done 60 pounds, but that's no all. I kept on going even through the storms. My A1C went down. I still have work to do. Just when you thought I was done, my high blood pressure went down too. Feeling good, taking my tea, but it weighed one less. I have a great story to tell. I'm on the road to lose 100 pounds. Can I do it in 2025? Yes, I can. Downsizing, Diva, and I'm here to stay. Feeling good, taking my GLP, one day.
Hello, 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 and welcome. Oh my goodness, it is Wednesday. How are you? How are you? How are you? Let's see, who do we have in this chat? We have Linda. Miss Linda was the first one here. Hello, Miss Linda. How are you? How are you? We have Linda. We have Mel to the B. Hey, Mel. We have Lakeisha, I see. We have Delilah in the chat. All right, and we have Felicia Marie B in the chat, and we have Taisha. Hello, Taisha. All right, so you know what? We're gonna get started. We're gonna dive right in. She says, "Hey, Dee and Divalicious." I love the Divalicious. Fam, happy Hump Day. Hello, hello. Hello, we have Kelly. We have Traces of Twan. All right, hello, hello. So I'm just gonna talk. We're gonna get started right into our topic today. Our topic is, let me go back up to the top here. I'm having some light issues. I don't know what's going on with these lights, so hopefully they do not go out. All right, so let's take these off. Okay. All right, so we're just gonna dive into our topic, and I may ask you some questions, so just to wake you up out there. So we're gonna be talking about today what PBMs are. Now, who can tell me in the chat, what do you think PBM stands for? What do you think it stands for? If you're out there watching in YouTube land, what do you think PBM stands for? That's what we're talking about today. And it relates to an insurance. So what do you think? Write your comment in the chat. Let me know. What do you think? Jen, we have Jen here. We have Tangi here. We have Jen here. Okay. All right, Mel. Mel says, I'm not going to say it out loud because I want people to put their own guess in the chat. What do you guys think? All right. And if you don't know, that's quite all right. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Well, let's see. Okay. We have some good guesses in the chat. All right. So Mel says pharmacy benefit manager. Delilah says pharmacy benefits manager. Kelly says pharmacy benefit provider. Okay. And Lakeisha says pharmacy benefit manager. Okay, very good. So I'm going to tell you what it is in a second. You have some great answers in the chat. I decided to do this topic, and it is called PBM Explained, everything you need to know. And the reason why this kind of intrigued me, I don't really know a lot about, I did not know a lot about PBMs before I researched it. And, I had heard people saying that CVS dropped Zepbound. And so I thought, really? CVS dropped Zepbound? I thought that was kind of, a little different. I was like, wow, out of the blue, huh? And so, I'm not on Zepbound, I'm on Mounjaro. So, but it's still, of course, I want to keep up with all that's going on for our GLP-1 community. So I thought, wow. So I looked into it, and it said CVS Caremark dropped Zepbound, not CVS. So I think people got confused with CVS, Caremark versus the CVS drugstore. And so that's kind of what I want to clarify today and talk about. And then I am going to talk about toward the end about Zepbound and that whole situation. And I'm a research numbers lady. So I just like to find out to kind of help you guys out. I've been watching some people's videos and what they've been saying about it all. And I made this video, it's called Mounjaro Unfiltered, where I just gave my thoughts about the branded versus compound. And basically I just want everybody to get whatever meds they take that, is gonna, help them as we tackle the disease of obesity. So, this is just gonna be, I'm gonna ask you some questions so it's not so look at the lights. The lights just went out. I feel like I'm in the theater. Hello. So I'm going to ask some questions. Let me get my light going again. I don't know. My light is doing some tricks. But I am going to start off just talking about what PBMs are, because that's what we're here for. So I may ask you to share something in the chat. So before we do that, I want to know, and I don't have this in the visual, so you just have to put what you think. So you have to listen so you will know. You're going to choose A, B, C, or D. Put it in the chat. So what is the main role, do you think, of a PBM? And people who said, what a PBM was in the chat, you were right when they said a pharmacy benefit manager. But what do you think is their main role? Do you think it's approving prescriptions at the pharmacy? That would be A. Do you think it's manufacturing the medications for you? That would be B. Do you think it's managing drug benefits for insurance companies? That would be C. Do you think it's providing weight loss coaching? What do you think? So A is approving your prescriptions, B is manufacturing your medications, C is managing your drug benefits for your insurance plan, and D is providing weight loss coaching. I don't know how long this sweater is going to last because I was cold and now I'm a little toasty. All right, we have some guesses in the chat. What are you guys thinking? All right, very good, very good. All right, so we already established that PBM means pharmacy benefit manager, right? And that's not the CVS store, right? That's the CVS Caremark. All right, so the role of the PBM, most people, it looks like, are putting C. Okay. All right. Let's see. Oh, Jamisha's here. Hello, hello. Oh, my weight loss twin, Bellflower, how are you? Tangi, I think I did see you. Z, that's here. Hello. Okay, so you guys, you were correct. If you put C, it is managing your drug benefits for insurance plans. So the last question, and then we're going to dive into it because I kind of gave the answer, but I just want to see if you guys are up on it, okay? Which medication was recently dropped by CVS Caremark? Was it A, Ozempic? Was it B, Mounjaro? Was it C, Zepbound? Or was it D, Wegovy? Put your answer in the chat. If you're at home, do you know this answer? People out in the YouTube streets watching, do you know the answer? So is it Ozempic, is it Mounjaro, Zepbound, or Wegovy? A, B, C, or D? And I did say the answer earlier. So I'm going to be talking about tonight, what they are. And I'm also going to tell you their role and why they dropped Zepbound. Like, it's, why they took Zepbound, because I hear a lot of people, and I've heard a lot of people saying, why did they drop Zepbound? I need Zepbound because it works better than Wegovy. And I'm going to tell you from their perspective why they dropped Zepbound, not from my guess. This is what it is. And so we're just going to learn about it. We're going to chat about it after I, share some things. Some things you may already know, and some things hopefully you will learn today. And you guys were right. It is C. It is Zepbound. And I kind of said that earlier. Just want to make sure you guys were paying attention. All right. So let's dig in. So here we go. I'm going to add it to the stage. Okay, so PBMs, you guys were on it. It's a pharmacy benefit manager. And I, love this analogy, thinking about it like a middleman, your insurance company, like you're a middleman between your insurance company, your pharmacy, and the drug companies. So their job is to manage which medications your insurance covers, how much you pay, which are your copays, if you have a copay. If you're blessed not to have one, good for you. I love that, but I have a copay, and how much the pharmacy gets reimbursed. So they have a huge job. So how do the PBMs work? So, and I don't know if you can see this, but I'm going to say it. They make drug lists. So those are called formularies. So if you hear the word formularies, that's just a list of drugs that they're going to cover. PBMs decide which drugs your insurance company will cover and which ones they won't. And they often pick drugs. Now, this is important because this is why they picked Wegovy over Zepbound. They often pick drugs that give them the best deal. So they're negotiating deals just like, you would if you went to a car dealership or, wherever you go to get the best price. They negotiate discounts with your drug companies. PBMs go to big companies like Eli Lilly, who makes Zepbound, or Nova, who makes Ozempic, and they say, we'll put your drug on our preferred list if you give us a lower price. So there's that negotiation. That's what they're saying. They work with the pharmacies. They tell the pharmacies like CVS and Walgreens how much they'll pay them when you fill a prescription. They set your co-pays. They set the insurance rules. PBMs help you decide how much you pay at the pharmacy and what steps you have to take to get the drug, like a prior authorization or if you need some sort of therapy. So whatever the process is for you to get that medication approved, or get that medication authorized, the PBMs set it. So that should explain right there what they do. So maybe you can take a screenshot. It's kind of tiny though. Or go back and watch this video so you know exactly what they do. So they are important. And this is why, Dave on the pen talks a lot about the PBMs, because they are the ones that are controlling a lot of strings with these medications. And if you're getting them and all that goes on with the insurance company. So why do PBMs matter to you? Because they decide which meds you can access and what you can afford. They affect how much your doctor's prescriptions will cost you. They influence which drugs stay on or which drugs get dropped, like Zepbound got, dropped from CVS. And we're going to talk about CVS and that whole umbrella of what's under CVS. Because if you guys haven't heard, Aetna also dropped Zepbound from what I'm hearing. So, and actually, I'm not shocked because Aetna is under that CVS umbrella. So basically, PBMs control a lot of what happens between your drug company, your pharmacy, and how much we're paying in your wallet. Their goal is to make money for insurers, not necessarily to give you the best or the most flexible choices. So if you are somebody who's lost weight on Zepbound, they're not looking at that. They're not looking at that. They're looking at, what's going to, save them the most money, what's going to be most cost effective to them. And so that is, why when, you're writing these letters of appeal, your doctor needs to come with facts, not emotion, because they don't care about the emotional part of that you lost the weight or that, you were successful with this or that. They just care about the facts. So that's what we want to kind of stick to, the facts, right? So why do people criticize the PBMs? Well, if you haven't gotten anything else out of what I've said so far, they have a lot of power. They have a lot of control, I should say. That's probably the better word, control over what's going on. And so they're supposed to save you money, but the PBMs claim they're going to help lower prices, but patients don't often see those savings. Sometimes the PBM negotiates a discount, but they keep part of the savings instead of passing it on to you. So that's unfortunate, but that's the fact. That's what happens. And I shouldn't say the fact, let me say allegedly. Let me say allegedly they passed the savings on to you. And I heard another content creator saying, that they made this deal with Wegovy in hopes that, the savings can be passed on to the patient. So that's yet to be seen. But this content creator said, I don't think it's going to happen. I don't know. So that I'm just saying allegedly, because I don't know what they're going to do. I would hope that they would do that, but I don't know. They create confusing rules, and that's one of the things that people criticize. So PBM set up things like prior authorization, where your doctor has to get special approval, or step therapy. Now, step therapy, I've heard some content creators talking about this too. Step therapy, and also, some subscribers, that's where you have to try the cheaper drugs first, like Saxenda. Some people, before they could even get on Zepbound, they were told to try Wegovy. I remember a lot of that going on. So that's what step therapy is. So if you ever hear that, that's what that means. These rules can delay treatment, or they can make it harder for patients to get medicine that their doctor recommends. So that's also unfortunate, right? That's unfortunate that, they make it harder. They create these rules, and I call it red tape. So it makes it harder for you to get the medication you need. And I'm going to be honest, before all of this, I just never, I didn't think I needed to know this stuff, right? Because I would just let my doctor handle it. A lot of times there was always another medication my doctor would suggest, or how sometimes they suggest, which we know, and instead of the name brand, you get the generic form of the medication. Like, all of that was always fine with me. But now that we know there's a difference between these weight loss medications, I really want to encourage people to go ahead and have your doctor, fight for you, right? Have your doctor appeal. And people are just resting on their doctor appealing. I say you also have to appeal. You have to appeal. You can't just leave it up to your doctor. There are things you can write yourself, and you need the facts in there. So I would say, unless you see, I'm going to take this off for a second, because I want you guys to really see me. Unless you see what your doctor is sending over. Now, you might trust your doctor, love your doctor. I, do mine, but I still would ask to see like what you're sending over. You want to make sure all those things are in there when they're sending over things for, for your appeal. So I would just add that. Okay, so let's keep it moving. So why do people, we talked about people criticizing them. They block access to some medications, they make drug prices less transparent. So, and that means just because, there are a lot of backroom deals, rebates, secret discounts, it's hard to know what the real price of the drug really is, or why one costs more at the pharmacy, which we all can agree that's been going on. And so that just makes it kind of difficult for us to kind of navigate, what we're doing with these medications, because I feel like things are coming at you all the time. But they have huge market power. Remember I said they have that power. I call it control. A few big PBMs control can you imagine, most of the U.S. market, like CVS Caremark, Express Scripts. That's another PBM. I heard somebody ask a question. I was on a live the other day, and they asked, were Express Scripts a PBM? And yes, they are. Optum RX. That much power raises concerns about competition and whether they're really helping patients, or are they really helping patients, or are they just helping themselves? And so, you got, how many is that? That's one, that's two. You had three big companies controlling a lot of what's going on. So, it's like, I don't know how we can fight that, but that's what we're working on. We want to get that done. We want to really, we need lobbyists. We need people out there, like Dave. I keep saying Dave on the pen, because he is actually, trying to work, in Washington to kind of help with some of these things. So many critics, including doctors, even doctors don't like all this red tape they have to go through. The doctors, your patient groups, and even some politicians say PBMs need more transparency and accountability so patients can afford the medications they need without the unfair roadblocks. So I don't want to get into politics, but I would just say whoever you're voting for, make sure they're voting with your best interests at heart. And I know a lot of times we pick and choose, some people are, one party for one reason, and they're another party for another reason. And I always say, I wish it was like a true third party that had a balance in the middle, but unfortunately there is not. But that's also, you might have to, if you're one of those people that are really passionate about getting things changed, you're going to have to, advocate for yourself and advocate for our community, and you have to get involved in some politics here. All right. So those are PBM. So we're going to talk about the whole Caremark and all of that. Does anybody have any questions about anything I shared? Marjorie, hello, hello. She became a member. You know, I also saw somebody else became a member. Bellflower, she became a member too. Thank you, thank you. I'll have to give you guys some confetti. And I saw it's Darium. It's Darium is not in here yet. But really quick, I got to give our new member some confetti. Jeez, Louise, I'm so excited, so excited. Here we go, here we go. If you guys have any questions, yay to our new members. We have Bellflower and we have Marjorie. Let me see. Here she is. She's also a content creator. So you want to go check out her channel. Very good, very good. Let me see. We got to give her some separate confetti. Yay! Thank you, thank you, thank you, and welcome. So, do you guys have any questions for me? Now, I'm just going to say I'm not an expert on this. I just researched this for you guys, you know, especially the ones that are affected. And, you know, anybody in our community that's affected, I say once affected, we're all affected, right? We all have to, you know, fight for each other. I said, you know, yeah, I'm blessed that I have insurance covering my Mounjaro, but one day it could not, right? One day, you know, any of us could wake up and our insurance company is no longer covering this and we be all in the same boat. So I say we all have to work together. You know, if one goes down, we all go down, right, with the boat. So we want to make sure you know, we're doing that. If you have a question, put Q in there because then, you know, because I want to get right into the whole CVS of it all, the CVS Caremark of it all. Let's see. Let's see. So Delilah has a comment about this. Let's see. I have a PA for 4 months at a time for a medication, 4 months at a time. Like, what a joke. At least give me 6 months instead of making me deal with you 4 times a year instead of 2. So you have to get prior authorization 4 months at a time. Jeez, Louise. So see, that's what I'm saying. That's a lot of red tape. What is up with the red tape? Oh my goodness. All right, Delilah, you hang in there. You hang in there. You hang in there. Jeez, Louise. I'm sorry about that. Mel with the super chat. Oh gosh, we gotta do it. We gotta do it. Mel, thank you, thank you, thank you. Mel, you are so awesome. Here we I think that's so cute. This is such, I'm so teachery. I know, but I just love it. I just love it. And you know what? Actually, it's Teacher Appreciation Week, by the way. All right. So Mel said the fact that CVS owns CVS Caremark, Aetna, and CVS Pharmacy is the conflict of interest here. Yes, 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 yes. Even though they're separate from the pharmacy, one hand is taking to the next, and what one does impacts the other. Yes, and you know, I was just having this conversation. Thank you for that, Mel. I was just having this conversation with someone earlier. I think it was Taisha, but I was saying, you know, I think it's, I don't know, maybe I should wait till the end to kind of share my thoughts. Allegedly, I just want to make sure I put that, say that allegedly in there. I don't want them coming after me, but I think, you know, I think it's all a cycle. It's, you know, it's kind of like you said, Bill, it's all a cycle. Because I would think, you know, just like how they're moving people up to, you know, when they tell their the insurance company, right? No, no one else, not your doctor. I'm talking about when the insurance companies are saying you got to go up this way, you got to go up that way, and they're setting those rules. And I think, are they trying to get you up to 15 so you can max out, and then you know, a lot of people max out at that 15, they're not losing after so much time. We've seen that time and time again. Now, it's not everybody, it's not at all, but I've seen that happen, especially with some content creators. They get to that 15 and they max out, and then they will encourage you. Some doctors encourage you to go off of the medication, right? And then you start all over again. So it's like a cycle, right? They're getting you back in there. So this time when you start all over again, I don't know if you're starting at the 2.5 or the 5, but I feel like it's just a cycle, because you would think, you would wonder if this all the same price. Now I can see in other countries it's level, right? Some of the doses are level, and I know they're starting to introduce that with the vials here with Zepbound. But if it's all the same price, what difference does it make how you know you titrate up? Now I will say, we know they did the study, and we know the study they titrated up a certain, every 4 weeks or whatever that regimen was for the study. But now we've learned that things have changed. Things are different. People are losing. Some people have lost over 100 pounds at that 2.5. I wish that could have been me. But it wasn't. And I don't know if it could have been me. I didn't stay on it long enough to find out. And most people don't stay on it long enough to find out. Now the newbies coming on, maybe you will. But I know a lot of us that have been on this a year or longer, we probably were moved up. Here personally, I've been on 10 milligrams for going on 6 months. Will I stay on 10? That's what my next video is going to be about. Well, not my next video after the next video. So let's talk about, I don't see any questions. So I must have done a good job of explaining. I'm thinking I did. Did I? Okay, so Cinemark, CVS Caremark, I'm thinking of Cinemark, the movies. CVS Caremark is the largest PBM, and rumor has it Optimum RX is next, dropping all obesity management care or care management. Delilah, don't put a damper on my Teacher Appreciation Week. Oh, geez, Louise. Yes, and it's for something that I love using, but it isn't life-saving, so I deal with it. Okay, okay. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay, so let's talk about the CVS of it all. Okay, thank you for that, Delilah and Mel. Okay, so CVS. Here we go. So is CVS Caremark and CVS the same? They are connected, but they're not exactly the same. So just to clarify, because you guys might be thinking, we know that. Some people didn't actually know that. CVS is the big parent company. So think about it as like an umbrella. Under that umbrella, you have your CVS pharmacy, the drugstore that you visit. You have your CVS Caremark, the pharmacy benefit manager, or the PBM. So it says Aetna is a major health insurance company, and that's also under that umbrella. So I heard they dropped Zepbound. Does anybody know if that's true? If that's true, please let me know in the chat. But I heard that they dropped them too, and I'm not shocked. If CVS and if CVS Caremark dropped them and they're under that umbrella, it followed suit. And we have to, aren't you guys wondering why Zepbound is dropped and not Wegovy? Well, I know the reason why. We have another super chat. Yay, yay, yay. Taisha, we got to give her some confetti. Thank you, Taisha. Well, we got to give her the... So Taisha says every 4 weeks as needed. The minimum time on each dose is supposed to be 4 weeks, according to Lily. But the minimum time on each dose is 4 weeks. So not that you need to stay on 4. I think that's what you're trying to clarify. Not that you need to every 4 weeks we go up, but the minimum. And I think maybe some doctors misinterpreted that, right? They just thought, and I know they changed the guidelines eventually. I want to say, wasn't that around May, June, when they changed those titration guidelines? But right now, currently, it says every 4 weeks as needed. The minimum time on each dose is supposed to be 4 weeks, according to Lily. Okay, very good. Thank you for that, Taisha. All right, very good. So let's go. Let me get Taisha off there. Sorry, Taisha. Thank you. All right, so let's keep going here. So CVS is the store where you pick up your medications. I'm not going to bore you with all that, right? CVS Caremark, though, they're behind the scenes. They're the PBM that works with your insurance company. Like we said earlier, they plan to decide which drugs are covered, how much, and how they're paid for. CVS Pharmacy fills your prescription, but the CVS Caremark controls which drugs get covered. You guys should know that. I'm going to ask you that question at the end. At what price, though, through your insurance? So they determine that pricing. They're under the same corporate umbrella as CVS Health, but they play different roles. Very good. So now we have that umbrella, right? We have CVS Pharmacy, CVS Caremark, Aetna. All right, very good. All right, so let's go to the next slide. So why did CVS drop Zepbound? I'm sure some of you are tuning in to find that out, or you'll be watching the replay to find that out. And you guys, it all boils down to money. The big pharmacy plans like CVS decide which drugs they will cover based on the cost and negotiations with the drug company. So CVS likely didn't get a good price from, guess who? Eli Lilly, who makes Zepbound, compared to the similar, medication like Wegovy or Ozempic. So when they got those negotiations, Zepbound and Eli Lilly probably offered a price. Wegovy probably offered a price. And guess who had the best cost-effective price? Wegovy. And it makes sense, though, because Wegovy is not as effective. Most people say, allegedly. I've never taken Wegovy, but I've heard some experiences with it. And we know that, the studies show that you lose more weight on Zepbound than you do on Wegovy. So it would make sense that that drug would be cheaper. So people were saying, why would they do that? This drug has helped me. This is life-saving. They're not looking at the emotional side of it. They're looking at the money side of it. So they may have decided we'll only cover the cheaper or better priced options to save money. These decisions aren't usually about whether the drugs work. Let me repeat that. These decisions aren't usually about whether the drugs work, which should be obvious, right? Because we know what the research says and we know what the facts are. It's more about money and contracts behind the scenes. So I don't know if you guys ever have been in if you've ever been in a negotiation type of situation. The bottom line is, I would, just talk about education. I've been a negotiator for my teacher's contract for years. I finally got off of it as of this year. So I wasn't on it this year. It's first time in a while. But one of the things we go back to as negotiators with kids is this the best for kids? What's best for kids, right? And so we have disagreements, but in the big scheme of things, we come back to what's best for kids. They're not doing that. These aren't kids, They're not in there saying what's best for our patients. They're saying these medications are both approved by the FDA. They're both approved to, for weight management, and which one is cheaper, not which one is necessarily better. So I think that that's where people, are probably a little confused when they, tie the emotions into it. They're not really looking at it like that, and which is unfortunate, right? We want them to, but unfortunately, they're not. So let's see. All right. So CVS Caremark dropped Zepbound. Now, what are we going to do? So CVS decided to stop covering Zepbound. Zepbound, we know, is a popular weight loss drug. And, we know Mounjaro is the diabetic part of that. They help people lose weight. And of course, if you're on Mounjaro, it's controlling your blood sugar. So it says, what does this mean for us, the consumer? So if you have CVS insurance through your work or your health plan, you probably can't get Zepbound paid for anymore. I think it's effective July 1st. You have to pay the full price, which could cost over $1,000 a month. And I saw somebody, I think that was Taisha on her live. She put up $1,300 and some odd dollars that she would have to pay if her insurance didn't cover it, right? Because if she would have picked it up early. And I've gotten those messages too. Let me know in the chat if you've gotten those messages saying if you pick up your medication early, this is what it's going to cost you. So that's something that the PBM probably said, right? This is the standard, how much you pick up, how often you get that medication too. So people using CVS insurance might have to switch to a different medication. We know they're switching it out for Wegovy. It says if your doctor agrees. So this is where some of your, a little bit of your power may come in. Some people may be upset or stressed because they were doing well on Zepbound. How many people have you heard saying, I'm doing so well on Zepbound, I don't want to switch to Wegovy. And so some people have already been on Wegovy. So I hope those people that have already been on Wegovy, I hope they stand a chance of providing that documentation. This is where you got to get good with your documentation. And so this is another reason why, let me just stop and say this. This is another reason why I would encourage people. I know people have tracking fatigue and don't want to track their measurements, don't want to track what they're eating, don't want to track, a whole lot of stuff. This is where I would say that tracking is going to come in handy dandy for you, right? Tracking your measurements. If you're putting it if you have a Renpho scale, print that baby out. I don't know if you can print out stuff on the Renpho scale, take some notes, write that down, type it up. Bellflower and I typed our stuff up. We typed it up. We got it all fancy smancy in a Excel doc. You could do that. So I would just encourage you to do that. I would encourage you, if you're one of those people that have tracking fatigue with your calories, what you're eating. I would send all that stuff. Now, your doctor could do that. It could be a deny, and then you do it again. I know some people who have said, like, I have a friend who said her friend, um, she did appeal more than one time. I want to say she appealed 2 or 3 times, and then her doctor appealed it, and then she also appealed it. And when she also appealed it, eventually it got, pre-authorized. It got covered. One of the things I say do is call your insurance company also. And I wouldn't just go by what the doctor said. And, you could have a great doctor, the best doctor. It's not going to hurt you to also put some footwork into it. And, I think if these medications are working for you, if you've already been on Wegovy and Wegovy has failed you as far as, or I shouldn't say failed you. I want to say if Wegovy got to a point where you weren't continuing to lose, I would have that. Hopefully you have that documented. Hopefully your doctor had that documented. What if your doctor doesn't have it? This is why you got to keep your own records. So if you haven't been keeping records, I would start keeping records from here on out. This is not going to be an easy peasy road, just like the weight loss is not easy for a lot of us. This insurance situation is not going to be easy for us. So if you haven't been tracking and documenting, I would start. And I haven't had to do that. I've just, I guess it's like the teacher in me to keep track of what I'm doing and how I'm doing it. But I would encourage you to do it. And there is no right or wrong way at this point. It's survival of the fittest at this point, right? We got to do what works for us, and we just got to make it happen for ourselves. So I will say, start doing that. So if you're one of those people that have to switch, let me know in the chat. Are you one of those people that have to switch? If you're watching in YouTube land, come on in, let us know. Is this affecting you? Are you going to have to switch from Zepbound to Wegovy? And then have you already got it denied an appeal? Has somebody tried to appeal it and got denied? Like, what was that process? We want to know. So basically CVS is making a business decision, basically what's cheaper for them, and that puts pressure on you, right, as on us, the patients. And we either have to pay more or switch medications. So that's just what it is. It's unfortunate that they are not considering that we lost weight, that we, all these things. Now one of the things I wonder, being a numbers lady, I wonder, how do people I would think they are looking at, like, okay, if you have sleep apnea, that's like, that's a serious condition. Are they going to approve or give that pre-authorization to somebody who has sleep apnea? They may benefit from Zepbound. So if you haven't been tested for sleep apnea and you heard you snore, or you heard, that, or you even feel like you're not rested when you wake up, because maybe nobody's at home with you to know if you're snoring or not. So I would get tested for sleep apnea. It cannot hurt, especially if your insurance company is paying for it. Maybe that's something, because I would be thinking these insurance companies are probably saying they just want to lose weight fast. That's why they want to be on Zepbound. They say on Wegovy, eventually, they'll go up the chain. Now, this is not me. This is what I'm saying they're thinking, right? They're probably thinking that, Zepbound is, you're losing more, but you don't need to lose, more so fast. Wegovy's fine. You can handle that. So that's probably what they're thinking. So you have to have some other things, or have been on Wegovy before and it did not work. But, if you've been on Wegovy before and lost weight, I'd be so curious to know if they will, say, well, now you need Zepbound. I don't know. You would really have to prove, I would think, that weight loss not just stalled, but like totally stopped in its tracks. But what do I know? Maybe they will. But I'm thinking, as a numbers person, they probably have like a quota, right? Like, to me, if I was negotiating, I would say, okay, we need, we know people are going to appeal this. We know we have so many, people that are going to, appeal this with their doctor, say they need to be on Zepbound? Are they saying, well, we'll take the 1,000 people, we'll give them? Are we say, I just wonder what their case by case based number is, because they definitely have one, right? Because and let's say it's 100,000 people on Zepbound, let's say 80,000 people appeal it, right? So they know they're going to get a lot of appeals. So I just wonder, what is that number? What's that magic number? And is it first come first basis? Is it what is the checklist? So if I were asking questions, I've heard people say they were asking questions, I would be asking detailed questions. Do they have a quota? What is that number? What are some of the things? When they say a medical necessity, you already see medical necessity. Break that down. What does that mean? And I'm going to hit on it a little bit in here and talk about some of the things that you can include, but you got to have that data with it. That's just the bottom line. You really do. Let's see. So what can you do? We know, talk to your doctor. They may switch you to a similar medication. We know people don't really want to do that. They want to stay on Zepbound. You can appeal to your insurance company. Sometimes you can fight the decision, especially if your doctor says Zepbound is medically necessary. Now, this is where it's so general. You got to get specific about why you need it. Drug companies sometimes offer discounts to help with costs. And we know, I'm sure people have exhausted all those options of, the savings card, whatever you can do. The vials are $4.99. That might be an option for you guys. Anybody on Zepbound, my light is lighting, saying hello. But that might be an option for you. I'm not sure exactly, what people's financial situation is, but I would definitely exhaust everything with that Zepbound. Now, there's a person in the chat that's saying, Beverly, that's saying she wants to be on Zepbound because she wants to lose faster. But Bev, I'm just wondering, what if you switch to Zepbound and then your insurance company doesn't carry it? You're going to be back on Wegovy. So I don't know. Do you want to mix that? I don't know. This is a hard choice. Jeez Louise. So writing your letter of medical necessity, your doctor can write you a letter explaining why you need Zepbound, why other medications like Wegovy may not be working for you. If you had to take something else to get that Wegovy to work, like people were taking fat burners, people were taking phentermine with it, people were taking other medications to give them that weight loss boost. And I don't know, Bev, have you had to do that? But include all that in there, and also include your medical history. This is where those notes are going to come in handy dandy. Past treatments, attempts, or failures. If you've had gastric bypass surgery before, if you've had a lap band before, any of those things, put that in there. Any side effects you've had. And I would also include when you had side effects on those other medications, like why didn't you stick with Wegovy? I wouldn't just say, let me just be up close and personal. When you say Wegovy didn't work for you and you say you stopped losing, don't just say that. You got to include those side effects. You got to include how it made you feel, not just, did your heart race? I don't know if your doctor documented that, but hopefully you documented that. Did it make your heart race? Did it affect your sleep? Like you gotta be detailed. You gotta write all that down. Like you gotta come with it. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't just go off the doctor, because is the doctor knowing all this? I don't know. Why Zepbound is the best choice for your health. So why is Zepbound? It's going to be like right now. And I'm going to tell you, some doctors are not long-winded. That's why they have shorthand, right? Doctors are not long-winded. Are you seeing what your doctor is writing in? Are they reading to you what they put in? You got to hit them with those facts. You got to hit them with the facts and the information. And again, I don't care if you have the best doctor, you love your doctor. Doctors are not pretty much long-winded. So I would, and they might show the notes or whatever. They're not going to have it organized and together like you. I don't know if you can send it in, you add something to include on that letter with your doctor, but I would also send your own letter. If it's a denied, appeal it again. Then I would also try what's that doctor called? An endocrinologist. I would also try that doctor. So if you're working with just like a primary care doctor, a general doctor that has helped you and advocated for you and all of that, that's great. Love you. kisses and hugs. But guess what? I would go to a doctor that specializes in obesity manager. They're going to know how to put that letter together for you. So that's what I would do. I would seek that person out. I don't know if you already have a doctor that specializes in obesity management. If not, and you're one of these people that have to have, need to make a decision by July 1st, find one. Find one, search for one, find one, talk to friends, talk to family, look it up. Yeah, for most doctors, if you have an insurance company, you have to get a rec for that. Like, they have to refer you. And I would just tell them, your doctor should be fine with this, especially if they're great, right? Because we're operating on this is a great doctor. They're going to want you to do whatever you can to support yourself. So I would say have that doctor get it in, but I would also seek a specialist, an obesity management specialist. So, yeah, you gotta, we gotta work, we gotta get this going. If your doctor can help with an insurance appeal, your doctor should be able to help you. But I would just say, yeah, go to that specialist. If CVS Caremark has dropped Zepbound from their covered list, your doctor can help you appeal, which we know. But I am telling you, you have to get that appeal going too. You can't just sit back and rely on them. If CVS, I want to say Cinemark like the movies for some reason. If CVS Caremark has fully excluded Zepbound from their formulary drug list, appeals may not work. In that case, even with your doctor's support, they might not allow exceptions. And why? Because this is not a medical decision. It's a business decision for them. It's unfortunate, but it's just the truth. It's just the truth. So that's why you guys may be thinking, don't they know Wegovy, it doesn't work as well as Zepbound? They don't care about that. They don't care about that. They care about the price. So you got to think they care about the price. So they're coming with numbers. So you come with numbers. You got to keep track of what you're doing. Yeah, I hope I got that message out, if nothing else. And finally, I just want to tell you guys to stay encouraged. Stay encouraged. You guys have to stay encouraged. Do not give up. Doesn't want to let me back on the stage. It didn't want to let me back on the stage. Simply Taisha. Oh my goodness. Let's see. She's talking about Wegovy. Let's give her some confetti. Where are you, Taisha? Let me see. Jeez Louise. I got to get this going. Yay, Taisha. Thank you. All right, so let's see what Taisha is saying with this super chat. She says, Wegovy worked for me. I didn't make any lifestyle changes and my mindset wasn't right. I also wasn't eating enough. And when I came off, the food noise came back with a vengeance and I gained 30 pounds quickly. Okay, so, but I like how you said the Wegovy didn't work, but you also weren't working the Wegovy, right? You weren't working that Wegovy. And so I think that that's one of the lessons we've learned, right? This is like preaching to the choir, unless you're a newbie out there watching. But, we know for most of us, I just saw somebody talking today. This lady was saying like, I lost 100 pounds and I didn't have to do a thing. That's not most people. Most people I know are like working it, right? They're eating right. They're exercising. They're doing all the things that we need to do to see some weight loss success. So thank you so much, Taisha. I appreciate that. I just want to tell you guys, stay encouraged. If you didn't get anything out of this today, which we're going to find out because we're going to take a little quiz. Remember, I told you it was going to be a quiz at the end. And the quiz is just so you can know, you got to be armed with information. You got to be armed with information, right? You got to know what is going on. Just like we want to know what's going on with our bodies, you got to know what's going on with this insurance and everything else. And, like I say, if you get denied, and if your doctor gets denied, first of all, before your doctor sends it, ask to see what they're putting in there. Ask if you can attach something to it. If they're not sending detailed notes and stuff, that's okay, because you're going to be coming up the rear with those detailed notes and information. And so you're going to have to do that for yourself. You are your biggest advocate, and then it's your doctor. Just like you're probably your kid's biggest advocate, right? Hopefully the teacher is the next person that's advocating for them. But you are as the parent. So you are as the person in charge of your body and the decisions about your health. So, and also if you get denied, I would see a endocrinologist. Is that what they call the obesity doctor? Somebody who specializes in obesity. That's who you need to be talking to, because if they specialize in it, they probably have embraced these medications and they probably know the lingo, maybe better than like your doctor. I mean, my primary care doctor, God love her, but she told me, no, you don't need a DEXA scan. Your bones are fine. She didn't even know. She wasn't even, and I'm not going to say she doesn't know, but she wasn't even open to the possibility of my muscle mass and, my visceral fat and all of that, my metabolism. So that's why I say to you, I love her, but geez Louise, if I really had a situation with obesity, I'm going to like a specialist, right? That's what you guys have to do. So I would say, if you have not been documenting, start documenting. And if you might be sitting pretty right now, but this could be any of us, I'm telling you, where they don't cover the medications. Now, if you're rolling in the dough, like Adele was rolling in what was she rolling in the deep? If you're rolling in the dough, it doesn't matter, right? Because you could just go to the vials, pay for the vials, pay, for the pens, out of pocket. So, this is not for you. But if you're like most of us that, need some sort of support, insurance, or a savings card, or some kind of life, life jacket with these medications, then you got to start keeping documentation. You have to. Do not rely on your doctor, because your doctor is over there writing in shorthand. Have you ever read your doctor's notes? I have. You got to have some details. So I want you guys to stay on these medications. I want you guys to be informed. Be informed. If you hear something on a channel, even Downsizing Diva, check me. Look up what I'm saying. Make sure what I'm saying is the right information. And I'm one of those people that I hear stuff from people and I go back and I do my own investigating, do my own checking. And I know a lot of people come here to our channels because you just don't want to have to, right? Let them do it. And you just want to take in the information. But go back and check anything I said on here. Go back and check and find out if it is true, right? Because, all of us can be wrong. All of us can be wrong. And I don't mind saying if I am and walking it back. And, and I want to know, right? Because I want to know for me. I want to know the facts. I want to know what's true. So I think that you guys, I'm encouraged. I want you guys to be encouraged. We got to think positive. I tell my students, and I'm telling you, Michael Jordan, LeBron James, all the greats. I could just think of, any greats, that was playing a sport. Tom Brady. None of these guys went in saying, and I should say females too. Serena Williams. Nobody goes in saying, "Oh, I'm going to lose this game. Oh, I'm going to go out to the field. I'm not going to make it." They go in saying, "I'm number one. I'm a winner. I'm going to do this." This is what you got to do. You got to get that mindset. You got that weight loss mindset. You got to get this stay on Zepbound mindset. Hashtag stay on Zepbound. You got to get that mindset that you're not going to give up. One appeal is not going to stop you. I told you about a lady who appealed 3 to 4 times before she was approved. So you got to go and get that sleep apnea test. I think I told you that. A lot of people have sleep apnea. You don't know you have it. Go and get that sleep apnea test. That's another thing that could help you stay on that Zepbound, because I have a feeling, and I don't know this, but I have a feeling that those are some of the things. I'm going to ask Derek, my doctor friend, what are some of the things that they would be looking for an insurance company to keep you on this medication? And, he's doing that plastic surgery. He's working closely with these insurance companies. He would know. Why didn't I think of this before the live today? I don't know. So I'm going to definitely ask him, what happened. I see Simply Taisha and Harjarine are both saying that, they were, have sleep apnea and got tested. Go and get tested. If you think that you could be a candidate for it, you might not know if you can. You won't know until you try. And I don't know how much it costs to do it without insurance. Hopefully, your insurance would cover that, because, you got to sleep. You got to sleep to survive out here. And you can't afford to be not breathing while sleeping, which is, what sleep apnea basically is. We have another super chat. Mel. Oh my goodness. She says, thank you, Mel. She says, I went through Lily's website and ultimately ended up with their vendor Ergonomy Health and had a sleep study done for OSA, obstructional sleep apnea, mostly as a test. My OSA was mild, the index was 2, and it needed to be a 5 plus. I love that. I love that you had a test, and even though, you didn't qualify, now you know where you stand. Okay, very good. Now, so you said you ended up with their vendor. Okay. All right. So check into that, guys. See if you qualify. See if you qualify. Simply Taisha said, well, wait a minute. We got to give Mel. I can't forget this. Yeah, we're gonna give her some confetti. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you, thank you. Let's see. Okay, what are you guys saying? I'm going with this sleep study because that's what we're talking about. I had a sleep study done when I was in the Army. I should do another one to see exactly where I am now. I think that's a great idea. I think that's a great idea to do another one. Bev, I've had sleep apnea for years. I have a CPAP machine that I sleep with at night. So, Bev, you should be able to go to Zepbound. You should be able to get that Zepbound. You gotta, I know you haven't wanted to switch, but now I think you do. I'm just so scared for you to switch with all this going on with Zepbound. I wonder what Eli Lilly is going to do. I feel like, it's like a chess match. Everybody's, Wegovy's going to be the cheaper one, right? Because it's not as effective. What is Eli Lilly going to do? What will they do next? What do you think Eli Lilly is going to do? Before we answer that, I want to know, what do you guys think Eli Lilly will do? Put your predictions in the chat. What do you think Eli Lilly will do next? Hi, Lily. I still call him Eli Lilly. I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't, but I do. Anybody have any predictions? What do you think? So they're getting dropped by a big PBM. What do you think is next? What do you think they're going to do next? Do you guys have a guess? Oh, people are telling me about their sleep apnea. Okay, here's another one. Delilah, I have moderate to severe at 60 plus, incidents per hour. So basically, I stop breathing no less than 1 minute, one time per minute. Jeez, Louise. Oh my goodness. Has Mounjaro helped with that? Delilah, I wonder. Delilah's also a content creator. Go over there and check out her channel. Very good. It's Darium. I want to thank you for becoming a member. I said when Darium pokes his head in here, I'm going to give him some confetti. Welcome. It's Darium. It's Darium. King Darium. King Darium is in the house. Okay, what are you saying, King Darium? Will price competitively and maybe even a short-term coupon for temporary lowered prices? Yes, it's Darium. We can only hope. Let's hope they're doing that. I wish I could make your comment super large so it could be all over my screen so Eli Lilly can see that. That's a great prediction. That's a great prediction. What do you guys predict? What do you think's going to happen? Darium, I have to put this up. You are just so clever with your words. Good evening, DD and the devastating divas of the confetti. That's so funny to me. Jeez, Louise. Okay, so Harjarine, she says she's also a content creator. Go and check her out. She says that's what she was thinking. That's what she was thinking. Very good. All right. What I hope they do, reduce prices. Price reductions for pay patients. Yes. Now, I'm going to say, Mel, we talked about this when I did that live with Dave on the pen. Why are self-pay patients still paying that much? I think they could definitely lower that. They can definitely lower that. So you may be onto something right there. You may be. We can only hope. Harjarine said that's what she was thinking. Bellflower, nothing. It's a money grab. They much rather us stick and purchase sick. They much rather us stay sick and purchase all other pharmaceuticals for all the other comorbidities. Sorry, I'm being dark. No, that's okay. That's your prediction. Oh man, I hope not, twin. I hope not. Jeez Louise. Oh my goodness. Rick's already said he's that's your homeboy, Rick. Rick's already said he's not interested in striking any deals and is focused instead on the new medications coming out. Wow. You know, we know when those new ones comes out, they're gonna drop. These are gonna go down to the second tier. They're not gonna be top tier anymore. But Eli Lilly still has they have the ace in the hole, right? Because they still have they got that pill coming out that's showing a lot of promise. They have that retatrutide. And every time I think of retatrutide, I think of Countess of Shopping with that dinosaur. So if you watch Countess of Shopping, you don't even have to watch her. It's in her thumbnails. That dinosaur. It's funny to me. It's like that's like a teachery kind of thing. So I love that. Let's see. Yes, paying for the price reduction. I've self-paid with a coupon for $5.50. So yeah, let's pray. We're praying for that, right? Praying for that price reduction. Yes, yes, yes. And that's really the point I was making in my Mounjaro Unfiltered video. I was just really saying, I think, people just need a price break. People need a price break. Delilah said, I'm not sure if it's helped, to be honest. Haven't been tested again, but since my program says I have lost a certain percentage and use CPAP at least 75% of the time, which I do not. Okay. Darium is a wordsmith. He says, Ricks may say in public, I'm focusing on the next wave, but the investors are like, do something now. I'm glad you said that because I am an investor. I just got a little piece of Eli Lilly, right? And I was doing this experiment. I'm going to share in my live. I'm going to have a members only live this Saturday. And I need to put that up with the time so you guys can know. So we want to welcome our new members. And I'm going to do a members only live. And I'm going to be I'm going to show you guys, what I bought, the stock I bought, and what it's doing now. Because I haven't had an update with that yet. So I'm going to be showing that this Saturday. Let's see. I think I lost my place in the chat. Okay, I'm sorry. Let's go down. Mel says it's it's atrocious. But let me say that again. It's atrocious, but I believe I can see her saying that now. But I believe Lilly will focus on expanding their market. Who represents the largest market? Really? Self-pay patients, including Medicare patients. Wow. I did not realize that. That is so cool. It's atrocious. I love that. Oh, I did not know that, Mel. So you taught me something so the largest market is self-pay patients. Geez, Louise. Well, now it should be true now because they're losing these PBMs left and right. Optimum RX has Zepbound at tier 2. It's at tier 2. Now, when I'm saying tier, I'm talking about like as far as like just like if there was a 1 is the highest, 2, 3. I'm not talking about literally the tier. I didn't even know there was like a tiered system, but I'm just saying if there's a level 1, then there's a level 2 and then down, right? But thank you, Kelly. Wow. So Zepbound so what's that level 1? Is there a level 1? Do you know, Kelly? What's that top premium tier? Geez, Louise. So yeah, I wasn't thinking of that. I was just saying in general, like if there's a top, 1 is your top tier, 2 is your second choice. So 1 and then 2 like that. But I didn't know there was like a tiered system with that. Okay, very good. Geez, Louise. His name is David Ricks, but I'm mad at him. So he gets called by his surname only around these parts. Surname. I love that. Beth, thank you for the super chat. Super chatting you because you are that girl. Just awesome. Thanks for your time and thanks for making a safe space for us to talk. Oh, thank you. That is so sweet. You are such a sweet. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You guys are so sweet. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. Okay, so let's see. We're gonna do our little quiz. I think you guys. I want to know before Bev. That makes me feel like I was helpful. Were you guys helped? Was that easy for you to understand? Did you guys understand the PBMs? Those that did not understand it. Thank you for making the predictions. I'm just excited to see what Lily's gonna do next. I'm gonna go back up in the chat a little bit, but I do have some questions because I want to see if you were really listening. I don't care what comes out. I'm staying on terzepatide. I love it. 7.5 milligrams, and I refuse to move up. Well, Victoria Riley, first of all, I love that name. Victoria Riley, it has a ring to it. And I agree. I agree. Look at you with your shades. Like we're 20 with our shades, even though I don't have mine on. Jeez Louise, I love it. You guys are so fly. Is what I call you guys with your profile pics. So you don't care. She said, I'm staying on to Zepbound. Okay, so what are you on exactly? If you don't mind sharing, I would love to know that. Okay, where are we? Let's see. Okay. So I had to double check, but I've had severe OSA since 2015. But you're on Mounjaro, right? It's Darium. I think you're on Mounjaro. So if you're on Mounjaro, that's Zepbound ultimately. It's just for a different purpose. I already understood, but it doesn't hurt to hear it again. Okay. All right. Very good. Very good. All right, Felicia said it was very helpful. Bev said it was very helpful. Oh, okay, very good. I'm glad. I love that. Oh, so you are on Mounjaro. Okay, so let's see. So I'm gonna ask some questions about what I said, just to see if you remember. In order to remember something and keep it in your brain, you gotta have a follow-up with it, right? So I'm going to ask you some questions. If you remember, just put A, B, C, and D in the chat. If you remember the third thing she said, you could put C in there. Okay, she's telling us, okay, let me go to Victoria really quick. She says, compound started with Lily 6 months ago. Okay, all right, very good. All right, very good. She says, it's, okay, wait, Victoria. So you're on compound. You started with Lily 6 months ago. Okay, you mean taking the compound 6 months ago? Is that what you're saying? Harjarine says, it's Darium. Do you use your CPAP machine? Mine tells me how many events I have per use. That is how I know it is working for me. Okay, very good. So he says, yes, Harjarine. Mine has improved, but I have a ways to go. Okay, very good. That's okay, very good. You'll get there, Darium. All right, so let's see. So this is a question for you. Why did CVS Caremark drop Zepbound from the coverage? Was it A, recalled by the FDA? Was it B, found to be ineffective? Was it C, cost negotiations with the manufacturer failed, so they didn't agree, they didn't come to an agreement? Or was it D, too many patients were losing weight? What do you think, A, B, C, or D? So A, it was recalled by the FDA. B, it was found to be ineffective. C, the negotiations with them failed, the cost negotiations failed. Or was it D, too many patients were losing weight? All right, I see some answers in here. All right. Jamisha, hello. I think I thought I saw you. Mine is a terrible thing to way. Geez Louise. Okay, Delight, I think you're putting tiers in there. Is that what you're explaining, the tier system? I'm going to come to back to that comment a little bit later. She said, Bellflower says she wanted Bellflower, known as Nicole, or I should say Nicole, known as Bellflower. She wants to say C. All right, so you guys are on it. It is C. Mel says C. Darium, Z. Harjarine, Felicia. Jamisha, nice profile pic. I love that dress. Is that a dress or a shirt? I love it. Bellflower, Linda's Journey. And she says, I want to say C, I want to say D, which D was too many patients were losing weight. Bev says C. You guys are right. It is C. You guys are awesome. It is C. Okay, let's try number 5, my 5th question here. What can your doctor do to help if your medication is denied? What can your doctor do to help? A, file a police report. B, change your pharmacy. C, write a letter of medical necessity. Or D, offer free samples for your entire life. So which one is it? You are welcome, Jamisha. A, file a police report. B, change your pharmacy. C, write a letter of medical necessity. Or D, give you some free samples for life. Don't you wish they just had samples? I remember somebody saying they got free samples, a box when they first left. All right, so what are you guys saying? Okay. Harjoreen says laughing about the police report. Mel says C, Darium C, Jamisha C, Z C, Bellflower C, Felicia C, Harjoreen C, Bellflower says A and D. Give you free samples for life, right? So no, they're Eli Lilly saying no. You see that light went out. Relax, Eli Lilly. Relax, Lily. All right, so you guys were right. It is C. See, I'm gonna give everybody some confetti on that one. I just love the confetti. I'm so like an elementary teacher. Yay! Jazz hands. You're going to your kids' productions, you probably see this jazz hands, right? All right, so this is another question. I think I have 10 questions here. I really thought these through. Which of the following is a GP? Oh, guys, you should know this one. Which of the following is a GLP-1 medication? Ooh, okay. This is going to be an easy one. I could kind of give you. I guess you guys are going to know this. Okay, before we. Okay, let me do that, and then I'll go back to Victoria. Okay, so I see she answered the question in the chat. Okay, so the question is, which of the following is a GLP-1 medication? A is metformin, B is Zepbound, C is insulin, D is lisinopril. How do you say that, Mel? Lisinopril. You can tell I don't take that. Lisinopril. Stop trying to pronounce this word. I'm messing up the word. But I'm just going to tell you, it's not that because I can't even pronounce that correctly. So what do you guys think it is? What do you guys think it is? Lisinopril. Is it lisinopril? Oh, those phonics, those phonics, those phonics. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, dun, 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 dun. Hey, all right, you guys are right. It is Zepbound. B. Zepbound was the GLP-1. So that was kind of an easier one. All right, or maybe not. There might be some newbies who might watch this back. Okay, all right. So we got to take off Nicole's Bellflowers. Okay. All right, it's for high blood pressure. Okay, very good. Say, I've never been on high blood pressure meds. Lisinopril is for high blood pressure. Okay, very good. Thank you. I learned something else new. Very good. Oh, Naturalista, thank you. Naturalista 20. Okay, yes. Catch the replay and thank you for stopping in. All right, so number 7, the 7th question. Oh. Look at the lights out. Lights out. They want the lights out. What is one common criticism of PBMs? What did they criticize with PBMs? A, they make drugs free. B, they offer too many choices. C, they hide their savings and drive up the patient cost. Or D, they only serve small towns. So why do people criticize PBMs? They make drugs free. A, they offer too many choices. B, they hide savings and drive up the patient's cost. Or D, they serve small towns. All right, you guys are good. All right, let's see. All right. What do you guys think? All right, this is a smart group. Okay, so you guys said, oh man. Okay, I'm gonna go back to that comment, Nicole Bellflower. All right, Simply Taisha. So we're going with the choices. Okay, she says C. C was, what was C again? Oh, they hide the savings and drive up the cost. So we have C, Dysterium C, Mel C, Bev C, Felicia C, Z C, Harjoreen C, Bellflower C, Beverly, she's laughing at Mel B. Jamisha says C. Linda says C. You all right. They hide savings and drive up the patient's cost. So you guys have to let us know. Is there anybody in here that is in this situation where you were dropped by CVS Caremark? If that is you, please just let us know in the chat. Say, yes, that is me, or just yes, however you want to say. If you're out there watching, come on in and let us know. Come out of what did you guys call it? The bushes. I'm going to say, come from out of the bleachers and let us know. Let us know. Come out of those bleachers. Let us know. What do you think? What has this affected you? Because, if this affected you, we want to know. And she says, Lord, I wish it was A. Yes. They would make the drugs free. Jesus, what if they have like a 1-day sale? Have you ever thought about that? Have a 1-day sale? Wouldn't we be stocking up? Jeez Louise. That is so funny. Okay. So you guys were right. It was C. They hide the savings and drive up patient costs. Okay, so Delilah says people behind money is being criticized because they hide the savings and they don't pass them. They hide the savings they get and they don't pass them along to us. I think that's what you were saying. Yes. Z says, Lord, I wish it was A. And A was making them free. Yes, Mel B, 17 years ago. So yeah, I think you were talking about, let me see. I think I saw that. I was going to go back up to that. You were in the hospital behind taking that. Oh my goodness. That high blood pressure med. Oh my God. Lisinopril had me in the ER with lips like Howard the Duck. Jeez Louise. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry about that. Yeah, these meds are something else. You never know if you're going to have a reaction to these things or not. Bev says, stop lurking and come out of the bushes or from under the bleachers and say, hey. All right, so it's Darian with the facts, hitting us with the facts. According to Chat GTP, I hide in the bushes. I hide in the bushes 35.8% of the time, male to the B. That is too funny. Too funny. Okay. All right, we're going to go in the chat in a second. I have a couple of more questions. You guys are awesome. So you guys can teach a class, teach somebody else, one of your friends and family about this stuff. What is one step patients can take after their medication is dropped from coverage? A, start a protest, Nicole. B, stop taking all your meds. C, file an insurance appeal. Or D, change your name. Which one is it? What's one step you can take if your medication is being dropped? Start a protest, stop taking all the meds, file an insurance appeal, or change your name. All right. Let's see. What are you guys saying in the chat? And it goes A, B, C, D. Let's see. I think you guys are answering this last question. I mean, this second to the last question. We have one more. We have two more. Okay, so all right, very good. You guys said C, and you are right. Write that letter, file that appeal. Very good. Appeal. Write that letter of medical necessity as well. Okay. All right, so you're going to file that insurance appeal. Mel says C, you're right. Darian is right. Z is right. Harjareen is right. Bev is right. Okay, so this is the second to the last question. The last one you have to type in your answer. Why should people on a weight loss journey this is a good one. Why should people on a weight loss journey understand? You guys were all right. Let me go back. I see some more. Change my name. No. A and C. Victoria says C. Bev says, Delilah says all of the above. Bev says, I would like to protest because I'm not going to take it sitting down. Yes. Miss Linda said C. You guys were right. It was C. We're going to file that letter of medical necessity. We're filing that appeal, filing appeal. But remember, we said don't just leave it up to your doctor. You also keep track of what you're doing, right? You're going to keep track of all that information. We're going to be armed with information. Let's see. Why? So this is the last one. Why should people on a weight loss journey understand PBMs? A, PBMs determine how fast you lose weight. B, PBMs decide what you eat. C, PBMs affect medication access and affordability. Or D, PBMs write your diet plan. Okay, I'm going to read it one more time. The question is, why should people on a weight loss journey understand PBMs? PBMs determine how fast you lose weight. PBMs decide what you eat. PBMs affect medication access and affordability. PBMs write your diet plan. All right, so we have Miss Bobby showing up in the chat. If you were in here before, I haven't been up in the chat that much. All right. Mel says D. Mel, you think they write your diet plan? Mel to the B. Are you trying to trick us? It's Darium says C, C, C. Beth. Okay, wait, I'll come back to that. C, C, C. See, a lot of these answers are C. Have you guys noticed the trend? She said, oops. You are going so fast. That would be me all day, Mel. My fingers and these little keys on this phone. I don't know if you're on a phone or what. Felicia says C. Jamisha C. Hey, Bobby is chiming in. All of the correct answers were C. Hey, Sandy. Hello, Sandy. You brought in the sunshine. It went down and then it came out. It went off and came back on when you stepped in here. Love it. She says C. Okay, C. Very good. It was C. All the answers were C so far, right? Taisha noticed that. Did you? And I said that. Is that why you noticed it? Trying to give you guys a hint. Okay, so who can tell me? This is something that I said. This was not in the notes that I, put on the screen. And I told you guys, if you appeal, your doctor appeals, and it gets denied, you're going to try again. But what did I say? What alternative should you seek besides your doctor? Who knows what I said? Unless your doctor has this title already, and then you would just find another one. They say always get a second opinion. But what did I say? Who did I say you should contact if you keep getting your appeals denied, just as an alternative? Something else you can do, you can try. Who remembers what I said? I see one person wrote something in the chat. What do you guys think? Okay, all right. You guys are great spellers. Okay. I've never heard anybody say that. And that was and maybe they have. I just, like I say, I've never heard. That was my first thought. Like, are people going to it? I hear a lot of people talking and they're not really like me. I'm not with an obesity specialist. I'm not with an endocrinologist. So that was what it was. If you're typing it in the chat, great job. If you didn't get it in there fast enough. But I did say, I like how she says try your endocrinologist, obesity specialist. Yes. Any of those things are going to be, or weight loss management physician. Yes. Somebody that specializes in obesity, right? Because even though you're a general practitioner, I don't know if you're, I don't know if you are, if you're on compounds and you're seeing a doctor through there. I don't know if they specialize in weight management, but that would be something easy peasy, lemon squeezy to find out. And when you find that out, if they are not, I'm just saying you got to, pursue all avenues. All right, now I want you to put in the chat, what are 2 things that you should include besides your weight? Besides your weight. Don't go with weight because we already know that's a given. What are 2 things that you can include in your letter of appeal? If you were filing an appeal, you want your doctor to include, but you also can write. I don't know if you guys realize that you can write an appeal as well. This doesn't have to be your doctor. So what are 2 other data points that you could put in your letter to your doctor? I mean, to the appeal to, let's say CVS Caremark. What would be two other data points besides your weight? Because we already know that's a given. Bariatric doctors, yes, that's another one. Hey, tell me two things. If you can only think of one, that's fine. But if you can think of two, because we want to give people as many data points and options as they can. Well, you guys have some good ones. Dr. B, you're hitting us with the facts. I said, yeah, the facts, the facts. No, you're lurking in the bushes too much, Darren. I said, what are two other data points you can use in your letter of appeal to your doctor that is not weight? Like, what are two other data points you could put in your letter of appeal? Because everybody's going to put, I lost weight on Zepbound. I lost weight on Zepbound. And honestly, they don't care about that as much. It doesn't seem like. So because we already know that Zepbound, right? And I say that because we already know that Zepbound, you can lose more weight. So they're still switching. So what are two other things that you could, put in your letter of appeal? All right, so let's see what the folks are saying. Delilah's always trying to jam me up with a big word, Delilah. I'm not going to pronounce that word until you put it in phonics. Put it in so I can pronounce it. I'll come to your lines and start putting these big words in there. But that's okay. I never met a big word I couldn't conquer. Let's see. Okay, let's see. Yes, that's right. The light agrees with me, Delilah. Okay, so what are you guys saying? You guys have some good ones. Oh, Mail to the B says your symptoms. Yes, you want to include that in your letter of appeal. All the diets you've been on, tried and true. Any side effects of the medication that you are on? Yes. Nicole Bellflower says your side effects. Yes. Any health benefits? I love that. That's the positive. I love that we're going with the positive there. Thank you, Sandy. Let's see. Delilah says side effects, or what is that? Contradictions? Contradictions? I don't know. What is that word? I don't have time to think on that. We'll be back to you. Bobby says research citations. Okay, so what the research is saying about the medication. I would just say that's good too, but I'm getting hot, you guys can see. I would just say gear it towards yourself, right? You want to make sure you gear it towards you. That's all I would add to that. I'm coming out of these. I'm hot with these lights. Maybe the lights know I'm getting hot. If you have sleep apnea, that's a good one. That's a good one. I think that should be front and center if you have that sleep apnea. Any symptoms? Yes, Hargerine. Really side effects versus symptoms. Okay. It's Darium. Let's see. Side effects, Miss Linda says. Victoria says improvement with exercise and better sleep. Side effects and measurements. Measurements is another one. I love that one. That's not weight. That's another data point. Comorbidities, continuation of care, family history of chronic illness, sleep apnea indication, failure of previous meds. Yes, now that's one, Darium, no one said yet. That's a good one. Failure of previous meds. You want to have that in there. Let's see. The chat GTP word. Oh, okay. Contraindications. Oh, is that what he said before? Is that what he typed in there? I don't know. Okay. All right. Okay. Okay. Contraindications. Okay. Okay. I know how difficult it is to navigate the live stream. No, that's okay. That's okay. Delilah be throwing those big words in there. I just said that because, that's our thing to spell it out for me. I'm a third grade teacher. It says you are already on which to not mesh with the new medication they're trying to force you on. Okay, very good. Yes, 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 yes. Look, I'm hot. I gotta get this fan. I gotta turn on my fan. I'm hot with these lights. Jeez, Louise. Woo. I think I had a hot in here. Okay, let's see. Trying to force you on. Okay, very good. Question: would you work with Chat GTP or other to help craft these appeal letters? Yes, you can. I would definitely. I would definitely. Yeah, yeah. And if somebody wants one or needs one, just email me and I can send you one. Or I could probably put it in this description. If people need one. Show off, Darian. Yes. Darian, she's putting it out there. She says you're her favorite male in this space. Favorite male. I love it. Oh my goodness. I was wondering how you were having that cute sweater on and not melting because I go through hot flashes and cold sweats. I'm telling you, I am cold. Ask my daughter. I don't know if you could ask her. She could be. You could see her talking, but hear her talking. But yeah, it's that I'm cold and then I'm hot. So now I'm sitting under these lights. I have two lights. This light is going off, on and off. I just got to purchase another light. I got to put it together to kind of lighten up. Because I see sometimes I look different based on the light, which we all do. Have you guys ever seen, this is so off the topic. Maybe I'll say that at the end so we can stay focused. But I was going to say, have you ever seen some celebrities who talk about I had bad lighting. I didn't look cute because I had bad lighting. This, that. I used to be like, girl, bye. I didn't believe it. Now I know they're right. It's true. It's true. The members will probably get this video tonight, but everybody else will get it tomorrow. This video I'm putting out. And to me, I look a little different. It was the lighting. It was the lighting. So yeah, you'll see. It was the lighting, and then I had just had, that video was made. I just had a rough week with my daughter. You guys know that my daughter, and her health situation. So yeah, I felt like it showed all up in that video, but that's okay. That's okay. All right. Wow, Dee Dee, the contraindications are making you hot, hot, hot. Yes, 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 yes. I love it. I love it. Very good. You guys, very good. She says you better get you some estradiol. That's the word. I'm not up on that word. None of these, I'm telling you, when I say I have not taken any medication besides birth control, I meant that. So I don't know how to pronounce any of these words. I've never really seen or heard of some of these words, these medical terms, right? And so yeah, I'm learning. I learned what that was. I did not know. So when I say that, I'm telling the truth. Now I can pronounce, the birth control. I can pronounce that, but some of these words, I'm like, what is that? What is that word? So I am learning from you guys. I'm learning from you guys. So the only medication I am currently on, I mean, literally the only is Mounjaro. And it was like that before I got on Mounjaro. I wasn't on anything, but I was taking supplements. So that's why I'm so leery about this whole, I know Mel she tells me the benefits, her and Simply Taisha, every time they can. So maybe one day I'm not against it at all. Maybe once I start dating and I start, not wanting to be hot and cold and hot and cold. Or maybe I'll be hot and cold in a different way. I'll probably be running to those those perimenopause things to help you. All right, so I kind of skipped around in the chat. I tried to focus on the topic. I know some of you guys were talking in the chat. Beverly is probably from my trade school days, becoming a medical assistant. Yes, yes, yes. See, you would know that because you're a medical assistant. You would know. So it's either that or Chat GTP. Which one is it? Oh yeah, estradiol is a hormone replacement, estrogen, and it is amazing. And I remember they told me it was estradiol, right? Diol. All right, very good. Amazing not to be on any medication, DD. Yes, that's a blessing from God, and I want to kind of keep it that way. But like I said, I am open. I am open. I'm open to it more than as I age. You know what I'm saying? I'm more open to it. So Yeah, yeah, Mel. You put that laughing in there. So let me go. I wanted to find out. I asked Victoria a question, and I know she answered me in the chat, and I'm trying to go back and find that this chat was popping. You guys were awesome. I love that you participated. I hope you learned something. People who are watching this back, I hope they, learn something. And so the next time people say, is CVS like Caremark? Is CVS and Caremark the same? People really thought it was CVS. Like they didn't realize the difference between the PBM and the drugstore. And that's what caught my attention about it. And then, of course, a lot of content creators have been talking about it. I get, news alerts, and my news alert came through. And you hear that word a lot, especially if you're on Dave on the Pen. He drops those acronyms all the time, PBMs. And so, I just thought we need to know what that is. We need to know what that is. So not only being supportive of each other, I'm a fan of being knowledgeable about what's going on. All right. So Victoria says, I started on Zepbound 6 months ago. It was too expensive. You switched to compound. You ordered 3 vials with Mochi with Go MD now. They are great. Lots of suppression for 5 days. Very good. 5 days. MD now. They are great. Okay. What is MD? See, there you go with those abbreviations. I don't know what that means. Okay, so you ordered 3 vials and okay, very good. So how have you done on it? You started on Zepbound 6 months ago, and then you moved because they were expensive. And then okay, so you got the Mochi. All right, very good. All right. So what does that mean with Go MD? And if I'm asking too much, just say Downsizing Diva. I'm not telling you all that. I'm okay with it. Since you missed it before, just wanted to say that I really appreciate how you take time to do your research and deal with facts, not opinions or hearsay. You are so loved and appreciated. Thank you. Thank you. That was such a sweet comment. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. And I'm not above reproach. If I say something that's not true, let me know. Let me know. Fact check me. Fact check me. Yes, that's the teacher of me. When I got on here, I thought, oh, I'll just document my weight loss. But, as we've gone on and you learn things, I just kind of, I'm learning too. So I like to share what I learned, and I'm learning from you guys as well. Like I said, these medications, I've never heard of these medications, any of these medications. That's why I can't pronounce half of them. I've never heard of them. I literally have not been on anything. I consider that, a blessing from God. Yeah. So let's go. I'm going to go through this chat. I skipped over a lot of comments just because I was trying to stay on topic. So I'm going to go down. And so when you guys are saying hello to each other, I skipped over those. I was just trying to stay on topic. If I skipped over something and you really want to say that, please write it in the chat. I don't know if you could copy and paste it again, because I didn't purposely skip comments. But when you have so many comments, it's kind of hard to keep up. If this scrolls down, I'm on StreamYard. It's Darium. Okay, I saw that. Okay. Now, is this what I saw this comment, and I wanted to come back to this. Were you telling me some generics and preferred brand name number? Are you telling me the tiers? Tier 3 is brand name drugs, and some non-preferred generics include specialty drug, non-preferred generic, and brand name drugs that require special handling. Okay. All right. So so tier 1 you're saying it's genetics. Okay. Oh gosh. Do you guys see my hair frizzing up with the heat? Okay, so let me see. I'm going down to find any comments. If I missed a comment, copy and paste it, put it back in there like Taisha did, because I didn't skip things on purpose. But I think what all you guys are saying is important. So Beverly told me that was for high blood pressure. I didn't put it up there, but I did read that. And then Bellflower said that had her in the ER. Geez, Louise. Okay, I'm scrolling. Okay, 17 years ago, your new doc prescribed it. You were allergic to it. You quickly dropped that doctor. I don't blame you. Very good. Okay, all right. Then it's Darium coming in. Not I. However, they tried to tell me Mounjaro had to be switched to Ozempic because they believe Mounjaro would be coming off too. Like, ma'am, how dare you try to give me a heart attack? Oh Oh my goodness. You right. You right. I love how you write stuff out. I almost had to get on it, but avoided it by using Zepbound. So that high blood pressure. Okay, very good. Bellflower, my cousin was on lisinopril too, and her tongue got swollen up and it cut off her breathing. They had to is it incubate or intubate her? She was in intensive care for 2 weeks. That is so serious. Jeez, Louise. Wow, that must be a powerful drug there. Jeez, Louise. Okay, okay. Let's see. I'm going through the chat. Bev says, I want to protest. And then Taisha, this is the one I missed. Just wanted to say I really appreciate how you take the time to do your research and deal with facts, not opinions or hearsay. You are so loved and appreciated. I think, did you copy and paste that or did you write it again? I'm sorry, but thank you. Message received and I appreciate you too. And you guys know Taisha is a content creator. Go check her out on Monday nights. She's live on Monday. She's going to be live if you're a member on Thursday. Yeah, Taisha is doing it over there on her channel. The butterflies. I am a butterfly. I must say that. Let's see. Let's scroll down here. Let's see. I think I'm caught up. If, like I said, if there's something else you need to, if I missed something, let me know. All the diets you've been on, tried and true. I like that comment. Side effects of medication. You guys gave some great things that they could do. You guys were helping me with that word. Yes. And I don't mind not being able to pronounce especially a medical word because I'm not in the medical field at all. So I do not mind at all. Help me out. Even teachers need help too, especially this one with the big words, medical terms. Let's see. Yeah, there's I'm not sure how I'm missing her comment. Yeah, I don't know either. Let me might need to put on these glasses. These are like sunglasses, but maybe they'll help me see better. I can still see with these babies on. I must start bringing my glasses up here. This format was great, Dee Dee. Good job breaking it down. Okay, let me put that up there. This format was great, Dee Dee, breaking it down. Even for those who know, this was a very good overview. Well, I am so glad. That makes me happy, Mel. Thank you. I'm just giving you a hard time. It's all love. No. That's what friends are for. That's what friends are for. I cracked myself up. MD is a medical doctor. See? I mean, who wouldn't know that? Downsizing Diva. I crack myself up. Yeah, if you can you guys copy and paste the comment without typing the whole thing over again? So if I just wondered that because just do that because these lives, you get so many comments, you're scrolling down. Okay, so thank you. That was the tiers. You had to make it as short as possible because you couldn't fit it. Okay, thank you for sharing that. Generics was the first tier, huh? Interesting. I copied and pasted. Okay, good. Thank you. You love those glasses? Yeah. What did Arnold Schwarzenegger say? Oh, be back. With the glasses. These glasses is helping. Thank you. Taisha says she loves my glasses. I love that. Bobby says, I'll watch the recording of this because I was really late. By the way, I scheduled a DEXA. Yes, for next week after you're live about yours. Yes. Thank you. That makes me so happy. Very good. Yes, Bobby. Dun, 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 dun. Hey. Dun, 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 dun. Hey, I love that. That makes me happy. Very good. So that's a time well spent doing that live. Okay, very good. So let's see. Bobby, we can't wait to hear all about it. Yes. Congratulations, Bobby. Can't wait to hear what you think about your DEXA. Delilah says you can't copy and paste from your mobile. Okay, all right. Yay, Dr. Bobby. We love that. All right, so this is Wellness Wednesday, right? I feel like I learned something too, even though my goal was to teach you guys about the PBMs. I learned something too. So, is there any celebrations before we leave? And if not, I'm gonna mosey on out of here. Bobby says, thank you to everyone. We're excited for you. Join the DEXA Club. On Saturday, I'm going to put this out with the time. And I think, Delilah, you go live on Saturday, don't you? Delilah, I don't know. I think you kept that going, but I'm going to schedule my live. It's going to be earlier in the day for the members. Thank you to the new members. I saw Bellflower, Harjarine, it's Darium. I appreciate the love and support. And we're going to have a members only live. And I'm going to share with you guys my Eli Lilly stock. And, I'm going to talk about that on Saturday. My daughter has something on Saturday, so it'll have to be earlier on Saturday. I think that's Mother's Day weekend. I think I'm going live on Saturday. I'm already scheduled for my live on Friday, but on live on Saturday, I think I'm going to go live on Saturday and talk about, Sunday. I was debating about doing that on Mother's Day. I'm going to have to decide if I'm going to do that on Mother's Day. I have something going on Saturday at 4, so I have to do that live, that members only live a little bit earlier. And then Sunday, I don't know. I'm either going to record a video about my weight loss or I'm going to go live. Do you guys have a preference, like on Sunday? Should I go live on Sunday? Are you guys going to be busy with moms? People can always catch the replay. They can always catch the replay if they want to, as well. So I think I might go because I might cut it back to an hour. So what do you guys think? Give me some feedback, and they can let me know too on Saturday, the members, what you think. Let's see. Although I'm not trying to lose, I'm down to 127 pounds. As long as I'm not losing muscle, I'm a happy camper. I'll be there on Saturday, DD. Okay, thank you. Mexican Mother's Day is May 10th every year. It doesn't move around. Very good. I love that. Do you do something special for that, or is it just honoring your mother like regular Mother's Day? Mother's Day, enjoy your day, love. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I'll also be there on Sunday. I don't have kids, and my mom isn't local, so I'm free. Okay. I'll be at your live Saturday, DD. Okay, very good. So Sunday, I might go live. It might be short, sweet, and just to the point. Like of my weight loss, we'll celebrate. It won't be like long and drawn out. Or I might make a video. It just depends. What I decide to do. I don't know. It's for me to produce a video. It's not a quick turnaround. And so I don't know if I'll be able to do that if I'll be all weighed in and ready to go and have it for Sunday. So either way, I'm going to be giving up some of my time if I create the video or if I do it live. So I may as well just do it live. Okay, so you'll be there on Saturday. Okay, so I'll let you guys know a time for the members, and we'll have a members only. I want to talk a little bit about that Eli Lilly, and we'll have a good time. Thank you for everybody that gave super chats tonight. I appreciated it. Oh my goodness. Thank you to those people. Thank you to Mel, to Simply Taisha, to Bev. I appreciate you guys. Mel sent me something for teacher appreciation. That was so sweet. I really appreciate that. Being a teacher is no easy job at all. So I do appreciate all that thought. If you know a great teacher, give them a little shout out. I realize, everybody hasn't had a teacher and had a great experience with the teacher. I do realize that. But if you have, give them a shout out. Let them know a little note, a sticky note even, put it on. Let them know you appreciate that. That's what I need to do tomorrow. I got a bunch of gift cards from my daughter's teachers, different teachers, and I have her write out a thank you card. So that's what she's going to be doing tomorrow night. She doesn't know it yet. Well, I think she does know it. She likes doing that. So we'll be writing out thank you cards. I got some little gift cards for them. So thank you guys. I have my shirt on. It says, what does it say? Teachers make a difference. I got my girl Bev up here. Oh, I can't get it off the comments. Okay, wait, we have some celebrations. Wait a minute. We have Taisha says, although I'm not trying to lose, I'm down to 127. As long as I'm not losing muscle, I'm a happy camper, and I'll be there on Saturday, DD. Very good. Good for you, Taisha. Let's give her some confetti. Love that. She's still losing. Oh my goodness gracious. Good for you. Good for you. That is awesome, awesome, awesome. We love that. You're giving us that daily dose. All right. Any more celebrations? Let's see. Also, I want to say, if you're a member, you make sure you hit the notification bell, because if I'm putting things up and if I put like members live, like I try to put my videos up first for the members, the ones that I don't, I can't, because if I do a short, they says you can't add music. So when I'm adding music to the shorts, it doesn't let me send it to just the members through YouTube. I don't know. It's kind of strange, but it'll say that. And, you know, it's like you go through putting all that music and then you're told you can't do it and send it to the members live. So if that's why the shorts, if it has music, you're not getting that first. But yeah, I just wanted to say that. All right, Margarine. Yes, 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 yes. She's down 41 pounds. She's down 41 pounds. She's down 41 pounds. I love it. Let's see. Very good. Don't you feel good? Jeez Louise. We gotta give you some confetti. Yes, yes, yes. I love that for you. Very good. I love it. 41 pounds. You are doing it, and doing it well. Doing it and doing it and doing it well. She's doing it and doing it and doing it well. I love that. And I love all the congratulations for Taisha and Harjareen. Very good. All right. All right. Very good. All right. So I will tell you guys. Good. Oh, Beverly, wait a minute. My girl Bev down 42.8 pounds and she is weighing in tomorrow. Bev, good job. Good job. You turn that frown upside down. Go, Bev. Go, Bev. Go, Bev. Go, Bev. All right. So, you guys, thank you for coming in and joining me on the live. I appreciate it. I had a great time. Have a good night. Let's see. I don't want to miss any celebrations, so. Okay, she says, we're going to end on this note. Yes, it feels good. You're almost out of the 200s. We got to celebrate your when you get down to Wonderland. Yes, 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 ma'am. I love that for you. Very good. Very good. That is awesome. That is awesome. That is awesome. And we're going to end on this note. Congrats all, says Beverly. All right. I'll see you guys on Friday and Saturday, some of you. Love you. Have a good night. Thank you. Bye.
Down